What's up, everybody? Real with Omar here. We're backstage at the NEGOZEE Financial Literacy
Feria Empresarial, FEN 2023.
FEN 2023. I'm here with Anthony Fernandez from the neighborhood with our panelists. We just did a real estate platform panel about where the market is, where it was, and where it's going. Anthony, I'll let you take it from here.
Hey man, thank you so much. Yeah, obviously we're sitting here, we're the guys, so we're the kings of this section here, but then the queens where this event took place are right here, right across from us. And these ladies here have been so generous to provide so much of their knowledge and the things that they know here to an environment that's filled with entrepreneurs and business owners who are looking to understand real estate because that's where we live, right?
Real estate, you always need a place to live, right?
Yeah, so it's very important for us to have professionals, and we've had an amazing panel here, and we've got some words to share with you guys. I mean, Louis, from your neck of the woods, how's real estate looking?
Real estate's looking great, but I'm not the star of this show today. What I want to do is get you guys in front of my panelists. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
And I also want you, when you see them, and it's cut on video and on Instagram or YouTube or wherever you consume your content, please follow them. They have abundance of knowledge, and they'll give you their information as you go. Anthony, ask the first question.
Well, I want to jump over right here to Millie. Millie's holding the mic right there. Millie, you're from Long Beach. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the market in Long Beach, life in Long Beach, and what's good out there so people will take some interest and go visit your neighborhood.
So Long Beach is really, really cool. It's a beach town, but it's also full-time residents. I mean, a lot of people don't know that. People own homes, people go to school there, they live there all year round. The real estate in Long Beach is always hot, especially in the summer. There's a lot of summer rentals. If you don't have a house on the beach and you want to experience beach life, you can rent a house for 1 month. It's a little pricey, about $30,000 a month. But it's wonderful because you get the experience and you don't have to buy the house. And then if you want to buy it later, then that's fine.
Is the Catalina Beach Club still there on Long Beach?
Yes.
Oh,
Catalina Beach Club is still there. Yes, yes.
There you go.
So it's definitely a very hot market still. I know interest rates are a little higher than they used to be, but location. You're close to the beach. You have the Long Island Railroad. You can get to work. It's a great town. So.
Excellent. And we've got panelists from all sorts of places. And I was able to get somebody from Connecticut, and we got Leslie Figueroa here, who's from Connecticut.
No relation.
Yeah, that's right. To be able to tell us about life in Connecticut. You're from Fairfield, right? Tell us about Fairfield. What's happening?
Yes, I'm from Fairfield County in Connecticut. I live in Trumbull. Yeah, now we're primos, though, right?
Yeah.
Ahora somos primos. With the last names.
Yeah.
I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams in the Fairfield County area, but I do travel through all of Connecticut. We have different areas of Connecticut. We have city-like living. We also do have residential home areas. So whatever you're looking for, whether you're an investor, looking for a residential home, buying, selling, this is what I do. I am also the president of the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals, and I helped open up the first chapter in Connecticut.
Wow, way to go.
Right.
Right.
All right.
Now, somebody living in this city, he is looking at us here in New York City. You have the city life, right? Everybody knows. When they think about Connecticut, they probably think this is the country, the wilderness. What could you tell them that makes them feel a little more at ease?
You have your areas where it can be very country-like, farm-like. We do.
Okay.
I had a bear as a neighbor? A couple months ago.
Hey, boo-boo.
I moved into an area that's it's actually called Daniel's Farms, but it's very residential now. So it was basically built on farmland.
Big farmland.
But it's very residential now. You don't really see a lot of that farm living.
So you're on the grid.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. I know a lot of folks get well water, septic tanks, and all sorts of stuff, and that's probably what scares people away. But is it that hard?
It can scare people away, especially people from the city, because they're used to,
municipalities.
Everything is electric. Everything is. I don't even know if some people know what gas heating is, but everything is very electric. So more of my clients that came from New York, they're like, what's a septic? And what do you mean oil? What are propane tanks? And that is what you're talking about. That's the type of living that, yes, septics are very common in that area, Shelton, Trumbull, moving up north more towards the Massachusetts area. That's where you're gonna get those farmlands, and that's where you see those septic tanks.
I'm still very interested to live there.
It's cheaper. I'm not gonna lie. It can be cheaper because you get them cleaned every so often, every 6 months, and you're not connected to the sewer. You're not connected to the city line. The city line where they're charging you quarterly $400, just for sewer water.
Oh, there's a value. Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
So there is a value, but if something breaks in that septic tank, it's 10 grand to fix. So it's a give and take.
I like it.
But yeah.
Cool stuff. Well, let's
So if you're
show
going to
some love.
Connecticut, call her. She'll get
Show
your
some
house.
love in
Yes,
Connecticut. And
definitely.
talking about love, let's show love the Brooklyn way. And I got Beatrice here, who's in the building. Beatrice, you're with Corcoran. You know Brooklyn inside and out for so many different reasons. Your family's been in the game for a long time. Talk to us about Brooklyn. What's good?
Beatrice, hold on. One of the reasons I wanted to do this is because when we were up on stage, it didn't go too well for her. So we're gonna make it up, all right? We're gonna make it up right now.
Yes.
Beatrice, I'm sorry. Let's do it.
Yes,
Brooklyn.
we've spoken to the team.
No,
pressure.
I want you to represent yourself. I want you to have a good.
Let them know. Let them know the monitor was not good at all.
Yeah.
I love Brooklyn. Born and raised in Brooklyn, born and raised in Williamsburg. I live in Greenpoint now, a very hot neighborhood. Unfortunately, the rents are sky high, super high in Williamsburg, Greenpoint, higher than some places in Manhattan. We're talking like $6,300 for a 2-bedroom apartment. So it is really, really high. I like it because we get a little bit of everything. If I want to go on a nice date night, I can go walk there. If I want to, hit up the suburbs, I'm there in 30 minutes. It's really, really close to everything. I think that's part of why the rents are so high. The community, there's so many great things there. Brooklyn as a whole is amazing. I basically never have to leave. I think there's just all parts of Brooklyn are great. And then again, we're close to anything else that we need to be.
Love that. I love that. And I'm a guy from Bushwick, so she's my neighbor. That's how we can pretty much
We're
connect,
neighbors,
right?
that's
On the
right.
L train.
On the L train.
Right next to her, we come from the Boogie Down Bronx. Obviously, Louis, your neighbor.
She's the realest.
Ariana's here. Let them know what's good in the Bronx. Ariana does mortgages with Go Rascal, and she has a plethora of knowledge. If you're trying to get in the game, you're looking at that 1 to 4 family house. She's got strategies, and she loves doing that. That's something.
She has so
Ariana's
much
special
knowledge,
about.
we probably don't have enough memory on our cameras. So we're just gonna try to condense it right now.
There you go.
So yes, I am a mortgage lender. I do deals in the Bronx, but I'm licensed in a few different states. The bank I'm with also can operate across the country. Depending on where you're looking for a deal, we most likely will be able to help. But I am an investor in Connecticut because New York City is money, and landlord-tenant laws aren't the friendliest out here. So I went out to Connecticut, Bridgeport specifically, and I was able to buy a 4-family home. So that's been, I think, the most interesting part of my real estate journey, being a landlord.
Was that recently, before the pandemic?
That was right before the pandemic.
Okay,
So 2019,
Wow.
November of 2019, 4 months before the pandemic
Scary.
hit. Oh yes, because
stripes.
I earned everything, because what she was saying about the septic tanks and the water and this and that, I had been a lifelong renter. I didn't buy my own home until after I had the rental property already. So I had never paid for water. I had never paid for anything really. I paid Con Ed and I paid Optimum, and that was it.
And you had no mentor guiding you. You just doing it on
No,
your own.
I just did it. So
Well,
I
congrats
was
to you.
at
Yeah.
the time. Thank you.
Yeah.
At the time, I was dating a guy that he went and he bought out in Newark, and so I was watching all of that happen. I helped him fix his credit. So I was like, he could do it. Sounds wrong, but I was like, if he could do it, I could do it. But I didn't want to buy in that market just because I hate the George W. So I wasn't trying to cross the bridge every time I needed to see the property. But comparable to Newark, it still kind of is Bridgeport. So right up the 95, and I live in Co-op City, so right up the 95, it's a 45-minute drive, and there's alternates if there's ever an issue on the highway. But aside from that, also price point wise, Newark was just a little more expensive. So to compare, he bought a 3-family for $370. I bought a 4-family for $310. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You don't hear those numbers in New York. You can't buy
Put
a
that in
single
your face
family.
right now, yeah.
Yeah, you can't buy a single family, and at 3%. At 3%. So because of the appreciation that we've seen over the years of COVID, also rent has gone up because everybody in New York left. And Bridgeport was actually one of the places in the country that experienced the highest bump in equity. So I think it was an average of 30% or something like that, crazy high. So rents also went in kind, and now the rent roll is more than twice the mortgage. So that's why I say get into being
Celebrate
a landlord.
the wins, baby. Celebrate the wins. Yeah, absolutely.
Everything, and I'm below market. I'm below market right now. So it is, if you can get a rental property that's cash flowing, do it. And if you can afford it, even if it's just breaking even at first, just do it, because rent will always go up. So you're gonna get a raise every time the economy needs it. You're gonna get a raise too. So there's that. And then I didn't talk about mortgages at all.
Well,
Do you have
no,
a
we
question?
love your story. And as a matter of fact, if you can just share some tips, because there's a lot of people who aspire to do things, but then they don't understand what to start with, whether I start with credit, with down payment, or I can start getting a better job. Like where do they start so that they're ready? Because a lot of times you got to be in it for a couple of years to really show that you got, the papers in order to get a mortgage. So what do they got to do?
Well, there's always workarounds. It's just like balancing out three main things: credit, income, and assets. If one is good enough or two are good enough, we don't really need to look at the third one maybe. So if you have really good credit and really good income, you don't need as much down because you're gonna be able to qualify for those like lower down payment programs like FHA or like a traditional conventional. But now if you have really good credit and a lot of money and not a lot of income, then you're gonna see yourself in positions like a DSCR loan or a bank statement loan where we're verifying your income in another non-traditional way. So there are those options, but there's always a workaround. Like we were dealing with someone that has an I-10 and a 0 credit score. Granted, their rate was crazy because it was for a HELOC also. So a HELOC with an I-10 and a 0 credit score, and we were like at 12%. It was crazy, but he was able to qualify for something, So there's always a way that we can get there. But what I tell people is that we function as like a GPS. You don't get in the car and ask it where to go. You tell it where you want to go and it gives you a route. So I can tell you, hey, let's go this way. You're going to have to pay a toll though, or we can go this way. It's going to take a little longer, but you can avoid the toll. But we can't tell you where you want to go. Right? So figure out that, right? What do you want to do? What do you want a property for? Not just, I want to do it because somebody on social media said I should invest. Well, are you doing it to build generational wealth and have an equity play? Because that might not cash flow as nicely as you want it to. Or do you want something that complements your income? I did it to get out of the business that I was in. I hated selling cars. I was good at it, but the environment was terrible.
You sell a lot of Honda Accords?
I did Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, and Ram. But I wanted extra income. So for me, it wasn't so much about equity, even though I got very lucky with being in Bridgeport right before the pandemic. But I told myself, if the house does not cash flow X amount, I'm not buying it, right? So it's a different incentive. You have to figure out what your incentive is, because there's going to be a moment in the transaction, because it happens every single time, or 9 times out of 10, where something goes a little sideways. And if you're just trying to grab at straws because you don't know what you're even doing this for, it's gonna get very frustrating. We do this on the daily, so it's stuff that while we don't like it, we can get around it. But for you as the buyer, you should always have your why in mind. And that's what you're gonna hold on to, because this is gonna be a process that nobody enjoys, but we're here to help. So,
there you go, guys. And more the reason for you to have been here, especially for the inside joke on the Honda.
Absolutely.
Don't buy a Honda if you're moving to the Bronx. This is your warning. Do not buy a Honda if you're moving to the Bronx.
So good things that were done here at FEN 2023. This is a NEGOZEE event, and we had the pleasure of being here and talking all about real estate. It's one of those things where you just got to be in the room.
Absolutely, absolutely. As I always say, proximity is power. Being in the right rooms, even if you're listening, even if you're not ready. We give you little tips here and there, but I think most people, they just stop making the first step. They just get like analysis paralysis. Check your credit, see what you have. If you have an IRA, if you're a W-2 earner, you have an IRA and you want to deploy it to make a move. See what you're working with. Talk to somebody who does loans, all right? And before you talk to somebody who sells real estate, because the person with the real estate can get you what you want, but you have to be able to finance it, right? So always speak to the money person first, then connect with the real estate person. That's all I have today. I'm sorry.
For the people that say, well, I want to find something I like before I go get qualified, if you don't even qualify for that market, you've wasted your own time. You've wasted the realtor's time, because I wanted something in New York. I couldn't afford it. Imagine I had a realtor showing me houses. We would have wasted everybody's time. I ended up in Connecticut.
And hurt your feelings.
Well,
right? No, it's true. You be like, I love this. Then you go see it, like, but I don't qualify.
Too many miles on the Honda. Too many miles on your Honda. There's no reason.
I just want to point out that if you have a good real estate agent, a good real estate agent, they're going to help you with that even before you get to your lender. So if you just know somebody and you want to talk to them, a good real estate agent is actually going to take the time to talk to you, to say, look, this is what you want to look for. This is what you're going to need. These are, 5 lenders that you can work with that, I've worked with that are closing deals in this time. They are going to help you with that. Yes, they're not going to go around and show you houses you can't afford, but they will talk to you about that. So when a good real estate agent starts asking you about your income and your assets and all of that, it's okay to answer the questions. Sometimes I feel a little weird. People are like, ooh, she's asking me all this stuff. It's like, no, tell me for real, because once we open up the conversation, then we can actually do something. And you said something really good about the rate. And so I like to tell my clients, like, you can date the rate. but you're buying the house. So once you get the house, you could always refinance the rate later if the rates, when they go down, because ultimately they're always going up and down. When I bought my house, it was 7.5% at like the height of the market before it crashed. And now it's more than doubled. So I always say, if you're looking to build generational wealth, like she was saying, then you're definitely gonna wanna just get in. If you can somehow get in, don't worry about the rate. Just work with somebody who is really gonna guide you and is gonna help you throughout that process.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I mean, listen, first home I bought, it was 6.25, and it was only for one day. The day I closed. I let it float the entire time because it was just dropping, going up, going down, but it was mostly going down. And then it was 6.25 the day I closed. And a couple of years later, it turned out that there was something wrong with the mortgages that they were issuing at that time. Not only did I get a check back from a class action, but then they also refinanced me for free, down to 4.5. And this is going back, I think, I purchased a house maybe 15 years ago. It was a long time ago, and it was like, if I didn't get in, I wouldn't have been in the game at all. So it pays to get in. I mean, it's like they say,
stop watching the game, start playing.
Yeah.
Best time to plant a tree is today.
Same thing. Had I waited 4 months,
Right.
I wouldn't have had my house because
You
we all
lost
got
full
laid
opportunity.
off.
Full opportunity.
Yeah.
We all got laid off, so it's like, jump in, get in where you fit in. Just do it. Nike. and Sizzle TV.
Yeah, we're on Sizzle TV.
Yes, that's right. This is going out through Sizzle TV. They are in the building as well. Kirk Jimenez, is he on stage?
He says, see?
This is Backstage. You come through?
We're doing our shout out to Sizzle
It's the
TV.
season, my friend. Come in. Sizzle TV Mike,
What do you need?
We gotta get him to sit down somewhere.
representing you right here, sir.
Right.
Take a seat right here.
Yeah, come on.
Take a seat.
Listen, I'm in the middle of doing the NEGOZEE hosting.
Come on.
Listen,
You're holding
you're
backstage for a
lucky.
few words.
You're lucky I can do this while I host the NEGOZEE event.
Chew gum and walk at the same time.
That's right.
Who says men can't multitask?
Kirk, you can do it all.
Yeah. What do you guys want? What do you go? What's
Let
going
them
Talk
on?
about Sizzle TV, please.
Sizzle TV is, I call it, the Netflix of marketing and branding for Latinos in English. It's a free smart TV app because if I'm making it for Latinos, I'm not going to make you pay for it. So it's for a free on the following platforms: Roku, Amazon Fire, Samsung, and LG. But we're expanding. We got plans on expanding in 2024. And what do? We tell stories like, stories about these guys, story about black and brown. I have a saying.
People that look like you.
Yes, people like, and you know what? It's positive success stories,
Can
right?
I borrow your line?
Yeah.
Black and brown don't play around.
Yeah, that's my saying. That's my saying. So I extended it to minorities, BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, people of color, and being a longtime media member, 2-time Emmy winner, first Latino to anchor in English and ESPN history, I realized, I was part of the media. I was part of the problem because the media doesn't care about our success stories. Nobody tells our stories, and I decided, I'm going to build a platform that does just that. So if you have a business, if you have a real estate business, if you're an author, if you're a coach, no matter what you're doing, if you're a badass Latino, I want to highlight.
Come to Sizzle TV. Come to Sizzle TV.
And by the way, I'm also my content sellers. I call it content because I call them Sizzle TV episodes. There's no Sizzle TV show. There's no Kirk Jimenez show. It's not a podcast. It's your own standalone episode. No, it's on purpose that I don't do it, right? Because I want your story to be the episode. I want you to be the star, not me. I'm just the conduit of your marketing and branding. You're gonna get a network anchor to help you tell your story, master marketing messaging, right? And that's what it's about. And so since it's not a podcast, it's not a Kirk Jimenez show, it's not the Sizzle TV show, it gets distributed across other third-party apps like The Grill, Viva Live TV, Hero Go, Binge Networks, and 300 websites. So it's a huge marketing push, huge marketing campaign. And it's something that I built, from the heart. It ain't easy being cheesy. And I'm cheesy, but I do it from the heart. Y mira, si no hablas inglés, lo hacemos en Spanglish. That's the power of Sizzle TV. And we celebrate heritages, right? The one thing I've learned since launching Sizzle TV, and I'm an immigrant from Venezuela, is this. The more we think that we're different, the more alike we really are. It's a shared story. It's a unifying story. We're all immigrants in
We're
this
all
great
humans.
nation. Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're from Nigeria, it's a shared experience.
Absolutely.
And so culturally, if I can connect with you guys culturally, él es boricua.
Boricua.
What's your heritage?
Dominican.
Dominicano. You know what?
Spanish.
And yo soy venezolano. We're all 200%ers. I want you to be elevated, right? As a Latino, I want you to feel strong because we're extra. We're 100% American and we're 100% Latino, Dominicano, Boricua, Venezolano. We're extra. That's our extra superpower. Being Latino is a superpower. Embrace it. Put it in people's faces. Realize it that it's your superpower. You're multi-language. You know, you have bilingual, trilingual. Some of us. Je parle un petit peu français. So we have so much talent. We have a world view, and it's awesome being a Latino. And the time to be a Latino and be a successful Latino, and powering up, leveling up, and partnering up with badass Latinos and Latinas is the fact that we can do it now. We don't have to fight over each other. We don't have to step on each other and fight for crumbs under the table. Now we're building the damn tables, right? Now we can build the damn tables and collaborate, reach across each other, and love each other and elevate each other.
We've been building tables literally for a while.
Yeah. We built the tables, cleaned the tables, and then if the tables get stained, we have to sand them and refinish.
Yeah, but now we're at the table eating what just sizzled, and that's why we're the X Factor, like the logo right now.
That's
we're
the
building
logo.
Up the future, guys.
More importantly, I want you to feel elevated. Y una cosa más, le dejo con una cosa más. El dicho, mira, en la lucha, it's a negative mentality, right? I want you to, if you take anything away from this today, is if you're an immigrant, si eres un Latino, if you're a second generation, it doesn't matter. The next time you go to say, no, ¿cómo estás? En la lucha, frena. Don't say en la lucha, say en el éxito, ¿ok? Porque esa es una mentalidad, es una energía. Está bien, mira, está bien el papel, no necesito papel. Estás en el éxito, elimina esa energía de, ay, en la lucha, ay, el ay bendito, elimina el ay bendito, olvídate de eso, ¿verdad? Ay, Dios mío, ¿cómo voy a pagar la luna? No te preocupes de eso, ¿verdad? Elévate tu energía, eleva tu mentalidad. Lo más poderoso que uno tiene son las 8 pulgadas. De aquí a aquí, lo más poderoso que uno tiene. Quiero que todos sean exitosos, quiero que todos, me están llamando, creo que es tiempo de seguir el nivel de negocio. Aquí vamos.
On that note. All right, guys, on that note, unless they have something else to say, I just want to explain a few things to you guys. If you guys follow me on any of the social media platforms, you know I believe in vibration, you know I believe in the power of positive thinking. Most of the people in this group I met today. Hopefully they look very comfortable, and that's the goal. You have people that do things and they get together, they can do bigger things, and that's always the goal. Unless you have anything to say. Oh, she has something to say, hold on.
So I work in Long Island, and I want to tell all my audience here that don't be discouraged by the down payment. There are so many good programs for first-time home buyers and veterans. I actually happen to have right now a co-op listed in Lawrence, New York, that's in Long Island, for $184,000. The monthly maintenance is $634, and it includes your heat, your hot water, and your property taxes. It's a beautiful building. It's a 1-bedroom. There's a living super, a fantastic area. And guess what? There is a program with a mortgage broker that I work with that pays your entire down payment. Your entire down payment, that's like a few $1,000s. You know, it's free money. As long as you don't sell for 10 years, it's free. If you sell, then you have to pay it back, or there's a percentage that you have to pay back. But don't be discouraged. Talk to a good mortgage broker, such as yourself, and find out what programs they have for first-time home buyers and veterans. It's very important, muy importante. Okay?
Where can people contact you?
Oh yeah, my name is Millie Billitzer with Coldwell Banker. My number is 917-703-3902. Aquí para servirlo.
There you go. This is like a segment from my show, Homes from the Neighborhood. That's awesome. Opportunities where people can live in right away. That's cool.
And I'm Leslie Figueroa. I'm a real estate agent in Connecticut with Keller Williams. Contact me at 203-521-3552. My Instagram is list with Leslie CT, or on Facebook, Leslie Figueroa Jacob.
Plug in a hot listing. You got one? Plug in a hot listing, like a property that.
Hot listing?
Yeah. Who's moving to Trumbull?
Okay. No, I thought that was like another LinkedIn or something. I was like, no, I never heard
She's
about
like,
it.
I'm not on that network.
You know
I don't know
what? Plugged in. I think that's a good network to start. Why not?
Plug in the listing. That's good. Make people move to Connecticut.
Okay, I actually have a 2-bedroom listing in the north end of Bridgeport. Beautiful backyard for under $300,000, only $280.
Wow, let's go. Connecticut.
Brooklyn, everything's expensive, but it's a vibe. Go ahead.
That's right. And it's really good pizza.
I'm Beatrice Vargas with Corcoran. You can find me on Instagram, Beatrice_Vargas. I sold all my listings this year.
Wow.
So
You got a rental?
I have a rental in Bushwick. Although I have multiple applications on that too. So it's like
I'm happy about
$3,000 for a 2-bedroom, beautiful apartment. But you can hit me up, Beatrice_Vargas on Instagram. Sorry, I'm not gonna give my cell phone number.
Hey, whatever you want to do.
There's no
It's
wrong
okay.
answer.
My name is Ariana Solis. I am a mortgage broker with Go Rascal. You can find me on Instagram at by Ariana Solis, so BY Ariana Solis. I'm sure you guys have captions, right? Here. Or 646-776-0555. Shoot me a text because I'm a millennial. We text. And yeah, that's it.
All right, the panelists are starting the next group. We should go support and watch. I started my own show while we were in the back. We're not supposed to do that. We'll catch you soon.